about tithing. I'm confused. I have heard different things about tithing and confused. Is it a commandment or can we give what we can?
Okay, let's take a look. Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. Okay, this is the story of Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings. Abraham went out, and a lot of us don't think of Abraham as a man of war, but he went out and whooped on some people. Him and his people against 5 kings and their whole armies, and he beat them all. Who really beat him? The Most High fought the battle for him. And he took everything that they had that was of any value. Those are called the spoils of war. And he's returning back to his land with the spoils of war. Pick it up at verse 18, somebody.
And Melchizedek, king of Shalom, brought forth bread and wine.
So Yahweh meets him in the way, right? Melchizedek, Malak Sadak. Malak is king. Tazak is righteousness. He's the king of righteousness and the king of peace. He meets him and he brings bread and wine. Okay, keep going.
And he was the priest of the Most High, Elohim.
Okay, and Melchizedek is the priest of the Most High. Verse 19.
And he blessed him and said.
And he, go ahead. So, watch that. Somebody identify. Who's the he and the him? And he blessed him. Who? Yahweh blessed Abraham. Shalom, family. Come on in. Monty, can you do me that favor and turn that back on, please? Okay, and he, Melchizedek, blessed him, Abraham, and said, Blessed be Abram. That's how we know we're reading it right. Of the Most High Yah, possessor of heaven and earth. Read verse 20.
And he blessed.
And blessed
be the Most High Elohim, which had delivered thy enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all.
And he, Abraham, gave him, Melchizedek, tithes of all. Hold your finger down on the word tithe. Okay, it's a pretty big word. Oh, that's pretty close. The first letter is a ma. The second letter is an I. The third letter is a sha. The last letter is a ra. Now, the phonetic spelling usually works except for when they put the ayin letter, because they pronounce ayin as an A. It's actually pronounced as an I. So we have a ma-I shar. Maya shar. Look at the phonetic spelling and how is it pronounced? My-a-shar. That's because they're using an A, but it's actually an I in the alphabet. Okay? What does it mean? Scroll down to the Strong's definition. A tenth. Tithe specifically means a tenth. Does that make sense? Okay, now watch this. Go to Numbers chapter 18. This question requires a couple pieces, because I've been getting this question asked a lot on the internet. They're like, you cannot take tithes because you're not a Levite. People say that in our YouTube videos all the time. That's false. That would be the same as saying Yahweh could not offer a sacrifice because he wasn't a Levite. He couldn't be a high priest either because he's not a Levite. Okay, there was a change of the priesthood. I'm going to show you that in the scriptures. Numbers chapter 18, verse 23.
But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance.
Okay, a couple things in here. The Levites have to do the service of the tabernacle. They have to bear the iniquity. It's a statute forever that they have no inheritance, because what is the inheritance if you're from the tribe of Levi? The Most High is your inheritance. You don't get a piece of land. Wherever the Most High is worshipped, that's where you go. Okay, that's the reason why Levi was split into two parts when the kingdom was split. Half of Levi went with the northern kingdom, half of Levi went with the southern kingdom. Jump in reverse and read verse 21.
And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance.
Pause right there real quick. What did he give to the children of Levi? Hold your finger down on tenth. You see it? It's the same word. So who do the tithes go to? They go to the children of Levi. Keep reading.
For an inheritance, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Okay, so the children of Levi receive the tithes, a tenth of everyone's increase for the service that they do. And they don't have a piece of land. This is the important part. If the Most High, so let's say we have Dan, and Dan is from the tribe of Levi, but then we also have G2, and he's from the tribe of Issachar. You have land. You can grow apples. He doesn't have any land. What are you going to do with your apples? You just harvest time came and you got 100 apples. You need to break bread with your boy. You need to give him 10 of those apples because he doesn't have any land to grow anything in. Does that make sense? That's why the tenth of the increase always went to the Levites. Okay? Now watch. Now jump to verse 24.
But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as an heave offering unto Yahweh, I have given to the Levites. To inherit, therefore, I have said unto them, among the children of Israel, they shall have no inheritance.
Okay, so Levi, among the children of Israel, has no inheritance of land. If you don't have any land, how you going to plant some crops? How you going to feed your family? How you going to raise goats? You're not going to. So the rest of the children of Israel who have goats and crops and grapes and all that stuff, they bring a tenth and they give it to the Levites. And that is their inheritance.
That's community. That teaches us community, right?
It does teach community. It teaches you to take care of everybody. You notice that whenever the Most High makes a reference to what we need to do, he says, don't forget about the Levite. When you make your pilgrimage 3 times per year, you bring the Levite with you. Don't just leave him there because he's poor and he ain't got money to travel. He ain't got no money. That's a Deuteronomy 16:16, right? Okay, now watch. Let's talk about if the, oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, somebody has a question about the heave offering. They want to know what it is.
A heave offering. Heave ho, you lift up your offering. All it means is you're lifting up an offering to the Most High.
Presentation.
Right. That's all it is. It's nothing. It's not a different type of offering. Okay, now watch this. Jump down to verse 26. This will answer that question.
Thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you for them for your inheritance.
Okay, watch. When the Levite receives the tithe from the tribe of Judah, go ahead.
Then you shall offer up a heave offering of it to Yahweh, even the 10th part of the tithe.
That 10th part is yours, right? It's everything belongs to the Most High, but this 10th of it is yours. You take that. The rest goes to the Most High. So even the Levites gave tithes out of, it's hard, the compounding of that part is difficult to understand because everything is given to the Most High. What? We don't have time for that. You have to, don't let that distract you. Okay, now. So the Levites have their tenth. Everything else goes into the storehouse. You brought 10 apples as a tithe. And then you're now from the tribe of Dan, perfect, tribe of Dan. You brought 10 goats, right? You raised 100, you brought 10. We now have 10 apples and 10 goats. Okay, the Levi is going to take a tenth of that, and the rest of that is going to the storehouse. You know why? Because if something happens to your family and you broke and there's a fire in your land, what are we going to do now? Oh, we have a storehouse of food that we've been preparing to take care of our people during hard times.
And then for the widows and the fatherless.
The widows, the fatherless, all that stuff. And it teaches us how we need to live in the wilderness. When we go to the mountains, when we go to that area, there's going to be some people who don't have a lot.
So that was the blanket. That was what we now they got government assist, right? That's that security blanket.
Yeah.
It's what it was supposed to be like from the beginning.
Yeah.
But then it got.
Now we got that government cheese. It don't even catch on fire. Don't eat it. Don't eat that stuff.
You know, this reminds me of a lot of the things that were established. Reminds me of what happened to Joseph. A lot of the things.
The pictures, right?
Yes.
Joseph during the time of the famine. He was warned, hey, famine is about to come. You better start storing up some stuff. That's a good example. Okay, now watch this. Let's deal with. We're still dealing with the tithes issue. Hebrews chapter 7. We're going to run through it a little bit quickly, but we're going to see that the very first time that tithes were given, was it given to a Levite? We already read it. Who was it given to? No. Abraham gave them to who? Melchizedek. Abraham is the forefather of Levi. Does that make sense? Okay, so where was Levi at when Abraham was giving tithes to Melchizedek? He was still in Abraham's loins. He hadn't come into existence yet. The seed was still in Abraham. Got it? And that's a long line of seed. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob gave birth to Levi. Now watch. Hebrews chapter 7. Let's get verse 1. Somebody get that for me.
For this
Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High Yah, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him.
Now, we just read that, right? So this is clearly a precept, and we're going precept upon precept. Here a little, where do we read it at? In Genesis. Where are we reading at now? In Hebrews. Why? Because this is the story about Hebrews. Okay? Who's commanded to give tithes? Everybody in the world? Hebrews are commanded to give tithes. Does that make sense? I don't understand how you go to a Christian church and they try to collect tithes from you. Where can they get that from? You're not from any one of these tribes. You're just trying to get paid. Now, Israelites see us collecting tithes and they think that we're doing what Christian churches are doing. No, we're doing what is commanded, which is preparing a storehouse for the children of Israel. Okay? Now watch. Go to verse 2.
To whom also Abraham gave a 10th part of all.
Okay, so who did Abraham give tithes to? Melchizedek. Go ahead.
First being by interpretation.
That means we're about to interpret the Hebrew word Melchizedek. Go ahead.
King of righteousness.
Malak Kazadak. Go ahead.
And after that also king of Salem.
Malak Shalom.
Which is king of peace.
King of peace. That's his name. So we just broke down his Hebrew name, right? Okay, now keep going.
Without father.
Wait a minute. Is he from the tribe of Levi? Oh, but he was the first one to receive tithes, but he don't got no father. Keep going.
Without mother.
Uh-huh.
Without descent.
Yep.
Having neither beginning of days.
You almost said neither beginning beginning
beginning of days. Nor end of life.
Can he ever die? No, he cannot. Go ahead.
But made like unto the son of Yah, abideth a priest continually.
So Melchizedek, what tribe is he from? He ain't from no tribe. Can he ever stop being a high priest? No, he's forever the high priest. Right? Keep going. Verse 4. You got it. Go ahead.
Now consider.
Oh, read in the mic, please. It should be on already. Okay, so now consider how great Melchizedek is that even the patriarch Abraham gave him a 10th of everything, right? Now watch, I'm going to read verse 5. It says, and verily they that are the sons of Levi who receive the office of the priesthood have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law, right? We just read that. That is of their brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham. He says, but he whose descent is not counted from them received tithes of Abraham and blessed him that had the promises. Does that all make sense so far? Okay. And without all contradiction. Oh, it's a contradiction that you're collecting tithes from the children of Israel because you're from the tribe of Judah. That's not a contradiction. Look at what the scripture says. And without all contradiction, the less is blessed of the better. Okay? Watch. And here, men that die receive tithes. But there he received them, of whom it is witnessed that he liveth. Who lives? Yahushai lives. It is witnessed that Yahushai is Melchizedek, and he received the tithes. Somebody pick it up at verse 9.
And as I may so say, Levi also, who receiveth tithes, pay tithes in Abraham.
Oh, so Levi, who never has to actually pay tithes, he receives tithes, he paid tithes in Abraham's loins. Keep reading.
For he was yet in the loins of his father when Melchizedek met him.
Okay, now, 2 more verses in here, and we're going to clearly see the answer to this question. Somebody pick it up at verse 11.
And if therefore perfection whereby the Levitical...
Pause right there. If perfection came by the Levitical priesthood, keep going.
priesthood, for under it the people received the law.
Pause there. What law did we receive under the Levitical priesthood? The law of animal sacrifice. Because what do the Levites do? You don't sacrifice the animal. You bring it to a Levite, and he sacrifices the animal for you. Right? Perfection is not did not come under the Levitical priesthood. Keep going.
What further needs was there that another priest should rise after the order of Melchizedek and not be called after the order of Aharon?
Okay. If perfection could come from the Levitical priesthood, then Yahushai would not have needed to come. There wouldn't need to be another priest who would rise after the order of Melchizedek. Does that make sense so far? Okay. Look at verse 12. For the priesthood being exactly the same as it ever was. The priesthood was changed. There is made of necessity a change also of the law. What law? The law concerning animal sacrifice and the law concerning who can do the service of Yah. Because Yahushai is the high priest, and he's clearly from the tribe of Judah. So he brought an end to the Levitical priesthood sacrificing animals by himself being the perfect sacrifice. Does that make sense now? Right.
Also,
and so he's from the tribe of Judah, but he's the high priest. The law concerning the service of Yah has been changed. So what does that mean? If you do the service of Yah, you can collect tithes from the people. And what are the tithes for? The people. They're not for you. This money does not go into my pocket. I lived in my house before we planted this church. You guys know that, right? And in my backyard, I do not have a swimming pool, and I did not fly a jet to get here. I do need a swimming pool. Let's take up an offering right now.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, hold on. We're gonna clean it. Okay, that's right. That's right.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say with the Christian church, because they've done away with the law, they're gonna do what they want to do with the money.
That's right.
But see, as somebody that follows the law and knows the word, you know that the money is to help everybody else.
That's right. And in our church, when somebody says, "I have a need," what do? We meet that need. Yeah, we meet that need. Okay, watch this. Verse 13.
For he whom these things are spoken pertaineth to another tribe.
So he that these things are spoken about is Yahushai. Is he from the tribe of Levi? No, he pertaineth to another tribe. Go ahead.
Of which no man gave attendance at the altar.
Prior to the death of Yahushai, nobody from the tribe of Judah stood at the altar and did nothing. Keep going.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
There, it's very clear. Yeah, Adonai came from the tribe of Judah. Go ahead.
Of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
We read it. right? Nobody else gets to serve in the priesthood except for Levi. So what is there a change of? A change of the priesthood, a change of the law regarding who can do the service of Yah and what the sacrifice is going to be. Okay? All right. That answers that question.